Hello everyone, welcome back. We're here on a field trip to Choice Steel to buy some pipes to make some tree kickers that look like rockets. Why? I don't know, I'm bored. The pipe's 74 inches long, that's each rocket, and 3 inches in diameter. So for each good rocket project, you need your good rocket launching button. This one's from Amazon. It doubles as a cigarette lighter. It's only about $6. And looks pretty official. So first we're going to test fit the pipe, and I did get it longer than it should be. I think it was 84 inches, so I cut 10 inches off. But it lines up pretty good. I am going to hold it with this 1/2 inch black pipe, and this one's for the gas lines I got at the hardware store. It fits perfectly inside the tree kicker holes, so that's where I'm going to be mounting it from. And just to see how much it weighs, we're going to weigh the rocket. It is going to be around 50 pounds, so this is definitely not a weight reduction, and it's probably going to slow you down a bit. I'm just going to cut the black pipe to size just so we can test mount the rocket. And I'm lining them up just to see how far away I want the rocket from the body. I'm going to be running one back here and running it down through the plastic just to mount to the end of the rocket. I'm going to test fit a cone just to see how it looks and the clearance with the tire, to see if I need to shorten the pipe a little bit. So I'm just using this paper for now. So this cone's a little bit too pointy, it's almost touching the tire there, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get a shorter cone. And I did mark all the spots where I wanted to weld the mounting pipes. So I'm notching the black gas pipe now, just so it can weld a little better. Yeah, it looks kind of decent there. So I'm then just using the level to see if it's straight or not. And my duct tape is holding it, yes, and I'm going to weld with it. It actually does hold in place, amazingly. So I'm just tack welding anyways. And there you got all the mounting pipes in place. So they all did line up and push in, so now I'm just going to have to make some extra hardware. So we're off to the next step. So I'm measuring the clearance here. I have no idea why. I mean, I'm not sure what I was going to do with that measurement, but I guess I left it in the video. The pipe is a little bit lower than the skid plate, and I'm going to be mounting the tree kickers through here, so I'm going to have to cut this piece off and leave it a little bit shorter. I'm going to have to have a stop on the other side so the tree kicker doesn't slide all the way in. I'm going to remove this plastic piece too, so I can build the other mounting point at the end of this rocket. It's going to go down through here and through the plastic. Unfortunately, I have to cut a hole in it. So here's the finished product. Yes, ugly welds, I know. I'll clean them up with some grinding. And we have everything welded on in place, so it's officially held up. So now for the next step, we're going to have to put some mounting hardware. And these nuts are going to go inside that 1/2 inch pipe, and they go in there pretty snug if you hammer them in. So I'm going to leave them sticking out a little bit so I can weld them. I'm just going to tack weld all around them. And you can see they're all in place. On this one I just need to straighten out a little bit, so I just put a bolt in there just to pull it out. Now just time to tack weld all of them. And you can see there we're finished with all the tack welding, and they're all in place and ready to be screwed on, almost. Just going to clean some of this up with the grinder. Those that can't weld very well, this is their best friend. And I did make some stoppers so the tree kicker doesn't push all the way in. So I'm going to weld these onto the end of the pipe, or in the middle section. I do have to press them on the original pipe just so it can be wider, so they can fit. Now I'm just trying to weld all of them in place for all 4 mounting points. And you can see there where I put the stopper, it's right before it goes into the tree kicker hole, so it holds it from going all the way in, and then I'm going to screw it on from the other side, and that's how it's going to hold on. And I figured out this is how I'm going to do the cone. I'm just going to use a safety cone, cut it out, and just mount it on there. I just need to make some mounting hardware for it. And I did cut off that 10-inch piece from the end, and I am test fitting some fins in the back to see how I want it. An exaggerated look, a more authentic look, so we'll decide later. Here's the mounting hardware for the cone. So it's just some sheet metal, and now it's kind of flexible so it can be pressed down a little bit so it can fit perfectly. And I'm going to mount it on there and just screw some screws on each end. Unfortunately, I should have done the screws on the back side so you can't see it, but it's too late, so we're just going to roll with it. I'm going to put one on top, one on the bottom. So I did make these fins. They're a little bit longer than the initial plans, and I'm just going to put 4 in kind of a cross pattern. I'm just going to weld those on, kind of eyeball them. I mean, nothing serious here. Just going to tack weld it for now. Yes, I know ugly welds, but I'll clean those up later. And here's my best friend again, the grinder, and I'm going to cheat and use some plastic metal just to hide all the imperfections, and I'm going to sand it. And that should hide some of the seam there. And I'm just going to cover it up with some bed liner paint. I still need some more sanding, so this isn't the final product. I did make some graphics for it. I didn't really like this one. It's just the official name of the rocket, or how it looks to a real-life rocket. And here's a jump test. It holds on pretty well. It actually has held the whole side-by-side up because I already tried it out. So I'm making some surface area here. I'm going to mount a light to the back, so I just need spots I can hold on to. So I'm going to put the LED here, and it's going to hold on with RTV since there's no other way to attach it and be able to remove it. So RTV is not permanent, but it's hard to take off. I have to make a hole in the back so we can run the wiring. It's going to go all up here, all the way to the back. So I do have different colored gloves because RTV gets pretty messy, so I want to see where it's on my hand so I don't spread it everywhere with the black glove. I did get a little bit there, so I'm just going to remove that. And we are going to secure it with some painter's tape here, or masking tape, and we're going to let that cure overnight. So now I can just run the wiring. So first I'm going to solder all of it together. And then we're going to end up running it through behind this pipe and all the way up there. So I did use some electrical tape there. You can't really see it now. And we're still running it up. I did wrap up the rest of the line as well with electrical tape. And I did use these splicing clips here. They're from Temu. They're great for splicing, where you can just plug in and you don't have to cut anything. And then if you need to remove them, everything just unplugs real quickly. And here they are. They're a few dollars on Temu. You can get a set of 100 for, I don't know, like $4. I don't remember. So masking tape is still on there. So let's test out the wiring and see if it actually turns on. So I connected the running lights to it, so that's what's going to run when it's just cruising. And then I also connected the turn signal, so it actually flashes when I'm putting the turn signal to either side. So let's remove the masking tape. It is held on pretty well now. I do need to clean up the edges, so I was going to put some more RTV, some clean bead on the edges. And this is the final result here. You can see it's lit up, looks official. Well, that's it for this video. We made a heavy-duty tree kicker in the shape of a rocket. So if you want to see more of these mods, thrifty mods, useless mods, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching. See you later.